Okay, there's this video that really makes me mad, pisses me off, and I'm gonna let you guys watch this YouTuber and how it's like she don't believe this black teenager, calling him a liar. So this video of the bike Karen in my first video, like I said, things could have been totally different. It could have just, you know, had a better communication. He would have showed his receipt and she would have showed hers. Oh, I'm pregnant. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Rosa Parks, whereas she sat up front of the bus. This white person came along and said, hey, you need to sit in the back of the bus. Rosa Parks stood her grounds and said no. These black teenagers, one of them said she approached them and said, can I use the bike? They said no. He said no, you can't. So who is in the wrong? They're not. Like I said, there's a video out there that explains the whole thing. His sister is going to explain the whole thing. Just work with me. I'm just going to pause this video and I want you guys, it's a long video that this YouTuber had post. Her name, let me find it. Oh, here's my remote. To me, I have
in New York City. It's 2023,
her name, well, is the comment section with Brett Cooper. So Brett Cooper, I'm going to let the world know who you are. I don't give a fuck anymore. I really don't. I'm just so tired of people thinking that they can get away with all this and like it's a bike. She approached them, but let me let you guys watch the video. Let me pause this and I'm gonna let you guys watch the video. Like I said, it's a long video, but I'm gonna just show what a part where the sister's gonna come in.
Help me! Please help me! Please help me! Please help me! Help!
Why you took his phone? I'm not touching you. You putting this on my hand. No, dude, stop. No, dude, stop. No. I said no. I said sit down.
Please.
She's just crying. You're not crying. I got you on video.
So there is a lot to unpack here. It went viral last week, and I think it now has like 15 million views. I think the original poster. And that guy took the video, he put it online, and there's just a lot going on. So obviously, this was an intense situation, and everybody on Twitter lost their shit and got very involved. People were pointing fingers with very little evidence and very little backstory and picking sides based on race. They were saying that someone was using her like white crocodile tears to villainize these men, and then other people were saying like this just goes to show how awful, you know, these black youths are in, you know, New York City. All this, it was just ridiculous.
It was all bullshit.
Now, a couple of days later, Greg Price did a great TikTok breaking it down and explaining what happened next because she got lawyers involved. Something happened with her job. I'm going to let him take it away because there's a lot to unpack and I want to move on to the next part of the story.
Here we have yet another tale of systemic racism in America, as well as another tale about the evils of the social media mob. Over the weekend, a video went viral of a woman on a bike share in New York City. The video shows her crying as 5 black dudes tell her that it's not her bike and try to take it from her. Based on that alone, the internet concluded that she's a racist. Because every time a white woman cries as 5 black guys are around her, that's apparently racism these days. It turns out that this woman, whose name is Sarah Cumry, bought the bike herself, and that these guys were trying to steal it from her. Her lawyer gave the receipt for the bike to the New York Post, and the number on the receipt matches up to the number on the bike shown in the video.
We now have her receipts. We know that she paid for the bike. And in the video, her coworker comes up and is saying like, hey guys, let's just move on. She can go to a different bike. Let's just redock the bike. You're gonna pull it out. And the guy was going, no, it's on my account right now. Like, I took it out. It's like, no, you didn't.
Nope.
You know that for sure. Remember that. It was not on his account at that time.
Woman is 6 months pregnant, had just finished a 12-hour shift at the hospital she worked at, and had got on this bike when these 5 guys came up to her and tried to take it from her. And she even lost her job because of it. She also had her address posted on Twitter, and news outlets smeared her as a Karen, including this one that compared her to the woman who got Emmett Till lynched. She and her husband also had to flee their home in New York City due to all of the death threats that they were getting. There's also a verified GoFundMe being organized by her uncle, and I will post the link to it in the comments.
And that GoFundMe now has over $120,000 worth of donations, so obviously people were rallying behind her, but this all happened very quickly. Like, these accusations came out, the video went viral, she was suspended from her job, and she and her husband fled the city all in a matter of like 24 to 48 hours.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
And of course, we have to remember that this all happened in New York City, and I'm thinking about that, and it's like, if you live in New York City, you kind of have to expect that you're going to end up in one of these situations at some point. Like, you're going to end up in a fight with somebody. It's become a very dangerous city, and if you do end up in one of these situations, you're going to want contingency medical. Contingency medical provides emergency antibiotic kits to keep you protected against common infections and symptoms. On safe and effective use up in another pandemic, especially if you're in a city. Back in and relocked about a minute later. Here's the New York Post headline about that. New York City hospital Karen paid for city bike at the center of viral fight with black man coming through the lawyer. But now, a few days later, the story has gotten even more complicated. The boy's sister made a TikTok showing his receipts, which is now going viral. And this dude, he's just an insufferable person on TikTok. He stitched it, and he has some commentary that I just want you guys to see, and he just bothers me and he irks me. So we're just gonna watch the whole thing. There's a lot of new information here.
The only reason why Sarah Jane Comrie was able to produce this receipt for this bicycle is because she jumped over this young man standing right here who had his hands on the handlebars, jumped over him, impales herself on his bike, and scans the QR code to begin the ride. How did all of this happen, and how do I know what happened? Because that young man is my little brother.
First of all, just saying, does not mean that you know exactly what happens. People lie. Families lie. We're just going to clear that up because we have no idea right now. We're just about to watch this video. But being related to somebody does not mean that you know the truth if you were not there.
Number 560-3915 was in my brother's possession. At 7:19 p.m., they dock the bikes. Sarah Jane Comrie walks up to them, asks, hey guys, can I use one of you guys' bikes? She says this as there are other bikes sitting idle at the bike rack.
It's important to note.
They politely decline. She asks them again, mentions that she's pregnant, and they still decline. Then, with my brother standing next to the bike with his hands on the handlebars, she jumps onto the bike, sits on the bike, and scans the QR code, thus beginning her ride. Mind you, the bike was in my brother's possession at this time.
But it was not because he had docked the bike. Having your hands on something that is docked that you have stopped paying for does not mean that it is yours. There's a lot of nuance here, which really shouldn't even be that nuanced because we can see the receipts from both parties. It just sounds a bit absurd, but you standing there doesn't mean that it's legally yours in that moment.
So this screenshot is from 6 minutes after the previous ride ended. As you can see, 7:25 p.m. Previous ride ended 7:19 p.m. These gentlemen, these boys, did not steal this bike from Sarah Jane Comrie.
But it's also important to note that the video that they were filming, they took that video at 7:24. So she had pulled the bike out at 7:24. It was not in his possession. It was not in his possession until 7:25 when he had come in and then scanned the QR code.
Bingo.
So there was a 5-minute period where this whole scandal of the city bike went down. There's just a lot of holes here.
She stole the bike from them, then proceeded to weaponize her whiteness. Video started being recorded at 7:24 p.m., close to 7:25. My brother's ride that was in the previous screenshot starts at 7:25. Help, 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 trying to make it seem like these boys stole this bike from her. The bike is on my brother's account.
It wasn't. It wasn't yet, because it wasn't 7:25. We're going to get to this in a minute, but I don't like anybody involved.
Yeah. So basically what I'm going to tell you right now is like this YouTuber is full of shit. This YouTuber don't know what the fuck she's talking about. So, the bike is still in his possession. See, that's the problem with these YouTubers. They tell you they show you half of the video. But like I said, I'm going to find the whole beginning of the whole bike ride thing, where they started from the beginning. People like her, people like Black Conservative, they only tell you half of the story. This YouTuber don't know what the fuck she's talking about. His sister showed in the video that I'm going to be posting, the bike is still still in his possession. Sorry for the tongue tie twist. It's people like her and Black Conservative is sitting there saying like they stole the bike, and she just proved to you guys like his sister said that he didn't steal the bike. So like the potato chip Dorito man, our president, called it fake news. This is why. When if you're gonna post something, you want to start from the beginning. So that's why, like, people like her, here's her channel. You can leave all the comments on her channel, and the reason why, like, she didn't do her homework, just like Black Conservative, because they don't know the whole full story. They actually, like I said in my first video, this is the second video, by the way, that I'm going to make another one. Like, they actually started from the beginning. When you saw the TikTok video, it shows on their GPS, on their on the bike app, that they actually started from point A to get to point B. Now, this dumb bitch right here, she actually helped their case. Another employee from the same hospital, or Bike Karen, told her, why don't you just get on another bike? The sad thing is that this whole thing could have been avoided. It could have. Messed up thing is, the fucked up thing is, she approached them. But none of these two, no one's not telling and saying, like, hot in my room, sorry, that how she attacked the teenager by taking his phone. That is considered armed robbery. As armed robbery, and it's considered theft. You're taking something that does not belong to you. You strong arm a black teenager. And the thing is, none of these YouTubers are saying, like, oh, she's in the wrong. But I actually read the Black Conservative comments, and one of the people had said, why didn't they come out of hiding? Well, I actually have the article, and I'm going to read it, the article, to you guys. That's going to be in the next video. Oh yeah. she got the money wrong. You see, like, you catch all these little lies that these YouTubers make. And when it comes down to stuff like this, you want to tell the whole true story. And like I said, this is her. That's her channel. And she is making up a lame story that's not even true. When they went home, they actually told what had happened. Every family member is going to explain to their other family member, oh, so what happened today? How was your day? Oh, this what happened. And you're going to sit there and say, oh, that's not how it happened. People lie, family members lie. Why would he lie knowing that he has witnesses that was there? So you as a YouTuber, you need to mind your own business. Stay in your fucking lane. You need to understand that what you're doing is actually helping their case. What you're doing is actually helping them. People like you don't know the full story. People like you need to mind your own business and need to shut the fuck up. Stay out of people's business. Yeah, people are going to say it's about race because she lost her job. The other employee, another white employee that came in the middle of the whole thing, towards the end of the altercation, told her, why don't you just get on another bike? Just get another bike. That's it. Even he said, get another bike. How hard is that? You started this. You see, like, it's people like her and Black Conservative is not taking Bicycle Karen, like, they're not holding her accountable. But you guys notice how, like, she's white. Black Conservative, he's black. But you're not holding her accountable. There's a whole shitload of bikes that's already been docked. She could have went to one of those bikes, but she started this. You know what? I just hope that they just press charges against her and then sue her. I hope that she don't get her job back. That's the way I see it. Now, I'm going to let you guys see the rest of this video. I'm going to see how long is this video. Whoops. Oh. I'm going to let you guys listen to the rest of this.
This story. They're all so dramatic. Everything is blown out of proportion. It's a freaking bike. Okay.
Told you I'd seen receipts, but let's go ahead.
He's the insufferable man.
First and foremost, I would like to reiterate that for myself and many others that initially posted about this, we weren't talking about a stolen bike. We didn't care about a stolen bike. It was her behavior. It only became about a stolen bike after she released receipts and made claims that they were trying to steal her bike.
So you're saying you didn't care about anything that was actually happening. You didn't care if a bike was stolen or what the fight was about. You just cared about her weaponized whiteness and her crocodile tears and the fact that she was crying around black men. So obviously that must mean that she's racist. Again, everybody involved in this is annoying me.
Remember, her attorney said after a 12-hour shift, she got on an available bike, which no individuals were touching, and paid for it through the app. As she backed it up from the docking station, a group of 5 people approached her and claimed the bike was theirs. One or more of the individuals in the group physically pushed her bike with her on it back into the docking station, causing it to relock.
Which did happen because we have the alleged receipts from her lawyer where it was unlocked and immediately right back in, and we saw it on the video, so we know that that at least did happen.
Now, notice how she is not holding Bicycle Karen responsible. Remember, Karen went up to her. Sarah Comrie went up to them. She started this. She's not holding her responsible, holding Sarah Comrie responsible. Black conservative is not holding Sarah accountable. Why would you go up to a group of teenagers and saying that I rented this bike out? You took your phone and scanned the QR code. There was other bikes that were involved that you could have went on. See how this thing gonna play out? Knowing that there's receipts out there, I want you guys to watch and pay attention to this. I'm sorry for the blur, but I had to pause this video, and I want you guys to see this.
Story directly contradicts hers.
He said,
the
she
receipts
said.
he provided go along with his account of what happened, and they prove it no more or no less than her receipts do. And I know there's going to be people who are like, yeah, but it was docked. That proves that it was available and she scanned it.
Now, yeah, she did scan it. That's called stealing. The bike is still in his possession. I don't care what you guys may say or think, but you have no right of doing that. Because it's not your bike. You brought this upon yourself. As I was saying, like Rosa Parks, like she stood her ground on her bus, saying like she's gonna sit up front of the bus, not in the back. Sarah approached these black teenagers. Sarah hops on the bike. He has witnesses. He told his family, and people like her, look at her. People like her don't believe the black teenagers, knowing that the video is worth $1 million. Are you kidding me right now? It's people like that make me sick to my stomach. But when you call them out on their own behavior and shit, it's like, oh, that's not how it happened. Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch. That's how it did happen. They said no. She forced herself onto the bike while he was still by or standing next to the bike. If you allegedly are pregnant, once you show the world and social media that you are pregnant, once you go take a pregnancy test and show us that you're pregnant. How about that? You want to play hardball? So once you show the world, the internet, social media, that you're pregnant. Or with the fake alligator tears? Yeah. If you saw the video carefully, she did use her fake alligator tears. When another employee came and she stopped crying. Oh, they didn't show you that part, huh? Oh, yeah, there's a lot more to this video. It's not just about the bike. There's a lot more. So I've been watching this video, different parts of the video while other people have been posting. And it's people like her make me sick to my stomach. It makes me sick to my stomach because I don't know her. I don't care about her. But when you're going to sit there and not hold another person accountable, then you don't know the whole full story. You're just like the black conservative. You guys like to post videos of the bicycle Karen and don't know the full story. You're only posting patch and pieces. It's like a million puzzles pieces that you have to build together, and you have all these pieces all together, but you have like 500 to 800 pieces still out there. See, that's why people always used to tell me, listen, look, listen, and learn. Look, listen, and learn. The 3 L's. Because when you look and you're going to listen and you're going to learn, you're going to sit there and not give your input. You're going to understand both sides of the party. You're going to say, okay, you're going to figure out your own conclusion. What did really lead up to this? But people like you don't know the whole full story. And she's like, well, I don't like this guy. Well, you don't know him personally, because you're saying that he's annoying. Well, it's like bitches like you don't know shit. Like bitches like you who I ignore on the streets. You're nothing. Guys like this who like to post real shit and have the truth video out there and saying like, yeah, she did scan it after it got docked. Well, that's considered theft. She stole the bike. The bike does not belong to her. So how are we going to fix this problem? Well, the problem is going to start like this. I'm sorry for walking away. I'm probably sure you guys probably didn't hear me. The problem is going to start like this. When you go up to a group of teenagers, if you're allegedly pregnant, no pregnant woman on the face of this planet is going to go up to a bunch of teenagers. I don't care if they're black, white, Asian, Spanish. I don't give a fuck what color they are. You are not going to go up and put your unborn child at risk. You're going to sit there and be like, okay, there's other bikes here, so I'm just going to take this bike. Why would you put yourself in a situation like that? And that's what her lawyer doesn't understand. Like, the bike, yeah, they did dock it to use it again. There's no law saying that you could take the bike out. They were resting. In fact, once I find this video, because I believe like he has the video of the whole thing. And if I'm right or wrong, I could be right, I could be wrong. Don't judge me. This dumb bitch right here, she needs to shut the fuck up. Once I find that video, and once I read the article, people like her are going to feel fucking stupid. Mark my words. Just like with the black conservative. Listen to what he has to say.
Yes. He is a 17-year-old man, boy, but I'm going to say a man in this instance because he's almost 17 years old. He's probably used city bikes before. If you dock it, it is not on your account anymore.
Especially since there were other bikes available that she could have taken.
And that is a very important fact because there were other bikes available. Again, I don't like anybody involved in this because...
You just heard what he just said. There were other bikes that she could have used. So why are you sticking your business and sticking your nose in grown people's business? You just helped and solved their case. He just admitted that there were other bikes there, and you said
both parties could have gotten a different bike.
And you want to talk about being defamed? There are a ton of articles that paint that young man as a thief. This is from a day ago. Critics called City Bike Karen a racist. Then the facts came out.
This guy then goes on and does this whole spiel about how this young man has been defamed more than this other woman. It's very all over the place. I don't really care. So,
actually, the reason why you don't fucking care, because this actually is true. That he has been called a bike thief. He actually has been called a thug. I actually have read the whole article, and I actually do have the article, and obviously people like you should be canceled. People like you don't know. It's like people like you saying like, oh, I don't care. Well, when it happens to you, make a video, use your fake alligator tears, use your privilege, and then we'll see how fast you'll get canceled.
LDR, the boys rented these bikes. They docked them for about 5 minutes. She came up. She tried to rent one of the bikes that they had been using, which had already been docked and put away, so they were available for use. They did not want her to rent one of the bikes.
Why would she walk by a bunch of bikes knowing that a bunch of bikes been docked? Keep that in mind. You started this, Sarah. Just like Rosa Parks said no. Those black teenagers said no. So you want to be about race? Let's do this.
So they had used, so they got into a scuffle. And in my opinion, none of this looks good for anyone. This PA, Sarah, she could have gone to one of the many other bikes that was available, but she...
You just helped their case. You also helped solve the whole mystery. So now you're pretty much backtracking what you have said. Just like I had said in my first video, and just how the other guy just wanted to say that, oh, he's annoying. What he's saying is what you're saying, that, well, she could have went to all these other bikes. But now, since I'm going to show you to my fans out there, I want you guys to understand she needs to be canceled. She needs, her channel needs to be shut down because of this whole thing. Like, oh, I don't care. But till shit happens like with her, if she's in a situation where she can't get herself out of, fuck her. I'm going to cancel her too. Be honest with you. I should just cancel her.
Chose to push and fight for this specific one. I don't know why, but she did. Similarly, the young man could have also gone to one of the...
No. Because the whole thing is, because you have to restart your whole fucking account, you dumb bimbo, dumb bitch. That's not how it works. They were actually taking a break. Oh my God, this is why, yeah, it was to that guy that showed the video. I'm going to have to go on his channel, on his TikTok channel, and I'm going to have to find it and post the whole true story.
Readily available other bikes than pick a fight with this woman. In the original video, you see the...
Actually, they're the ones that were there first. So, they didn't pick a fight with her. You just admitted, like, she went to them. You see, if you're ever in court if you ever need an eyewitness, don't take her. Her credibility in court, you will lose all day in court because her credibility sucks. She has the worst credibility known to mankind. She's not a good witness. You know, her story's everywhere. Your case will be dismissed. And it's like, again, 1,000 pieces. You got 800 pieces left. Between 500 to 800 pieces. Her story's everywhere.
Man who was going by the alias Michael in all of these stories. So again, we don't even know his real name. Is he being defamed? We don't know her name. This woman is. She lost her job. Okay, that's just an aside. But anyway, in the original video, you see his friend saying like, bro, leave it alone. It's not a big deal. Like, please, like, there's other bikes, whatever. And he is intentionally keeping this going and fighting with her. It feels like both of...
No. The reason why he said, his friends said, don't get another bike, because there is still time on his account to get the bike again. That's why if you get another bike, your time restarts. That's how it works. I've known this because I've talked to people that were in Boston. There's a bike company that's called New Balance. They also make sneakers, and they had they have these bikes in Boston, whereas you ride them to the next dock station in the city. So when you're, because they have the GPS, so they can track where the bike is. And when they're sitting down to rest, the time is still going, but they're still paying for it. The bike is still in their possession. They can dock it halfway and then take the bike out and still use it. So yeah, it makes perfectly well sense that the bike is still in his possession.
People in this situation had something to prove by fighting over this bike, which is so absurd. And if you are wondering why Michael was maybe trying to keep this bike or be able to have a bike to get back home,
If you want to join...
Subscription, you can save money by docking your bike every 30 minutes. I'm not sure exactly why, but that's what it says online. I'll link it, right here so you can see. And people are assuming that that is what he was doing if he was just sitting at the docking station, not riding it, not checking any...
I'm gonna go back so you guys see it because the line was in the way.
And if you are wondering why Michael was maybe trying to keep this bike or be able to have a bike to get back home, apparently with a city bike subscription, you can save money by docking your bike every 30 minutes. I'm not sure exactly why, but that's what it says online. I'll link it, right here so you can see. And people are assuming that that is what he was doing if he was just sitting at the docking station, not riding it, not checking anything out, but wanting to keep his bike. And I don't think you have to take out the same bike. I think you just have to dock for a minute and then get back on.
No, you do have to rent out the same bike because of the number on that bike is on your account. Yeah, you could rent out another bike, but he's still renting out that same bike. That way he can save more time. I know how this thing works. I talked to people down in Boston and they told me it's that they rent out the bike and there's a time on it and they have to pay for it. It's in their name.
Somebody replied and said, the whole purpose of the redocking and waiting is to prevent the monopolization of bikes. Once redocked, they are available for others to take. These kids aren't the lords of city bike docks, and they cannot prevent others from renting them out once docked. Those are just the facts. So still, he could have let it go and checked out another bike when they were ready to go again.
No. She could have gone to other bikes. She approached them. They did not approach her. Get your stories and facts straight. See what I mean? She's uncredible. Like, you can sit there and say, the sky is blue. No, the sky is not blue. The sky is blue. And she can say No, it isn't. On the outside of the, if you go out in space, the sky and the whole planet is blue. Blue and white, and a little bit of grayish and stuff in there. But the sky is blue.
5-minute period or whenever they were ready to continue on their ride and do another 30 minutes. Now after
this dumb bitch would be like the type of bitch that put like a square in the middle of a fucking triangle. You're dumb and you're stupid.
This update went viral. People are still pretty split about how this ends up looking for all the parties involved. One person said, I hope you realize how much worse it made it for these young men. If they docked the bike, it is no longer theirs. Yes, she could have used another bike, but that is not the conversation here. She did not steal anything if he ended his ride.
Yes, she did. That's the thing. He was still going to use the same bike because it's on his account. He actually said it, he has an account. And you're sitting there, no you don't. So the bike is still in his possession because they were resting. There is no law saying like it's against the law to dock your bike and take a break. That's why dumb bitches like this don't even understand.
Somebody else said weaponized whiteness is the most horrifically...
Alright, let me go back.
If they docked the bike, it is no longer theirs. Yes, she could have used another bike, but that is not the conversation here. She did not steal anything if he ended his ride. Somebody else said weaponized whiteness is the most horrifically honest interpretation of that behavior I have ever heard. Somebody else said so he docked the bike. It is no longer his. Give up on this, take the L. Somebody else said so it was her bike after all. Nice. Somebody else said this lady knew exactly what she was doing, which is why she hid her employee ID as soon as she saw that she was being recorded. She knew she was wrong. I'm glad her employer clipped her anyway. She got what she deserved. Somebody else said, you realize this story didn't help him, right? He docked the bike, meaning it was no longer in his possession / ownership. She took it and paid for it, which she did. We don't know how that happened, how this scuffle...
Okay, it actually did happen like this. She took her phone, scanned the QR code. Well, actually, he put his hand on the QR code, and then that's when, I want to get it right. Because in the video, he did, no, she scanned the QR code, and then he put his hand on the QR code, or something like that, and that's when she undocked. Yeah, that's how it happened. She scanned the QR code, and she undocked it. So while his hand was still on the QR code, he had to move his hand to take his phone out. And she scanned the QR code, so she undocked it. That's how it all happened. So she was in the wrong. I'm on their side. You could have gone to another bike. See how you guys don't take her accountability? You guys aren't going to be on her side. To all you conservative people, I'm going to read you guys an article. An article that is like is going to blow your mind. Listen to the rest of this, and then I'm going to go and find this guy's TikTok video.
Took place, but it was in her possession at 7:24. Now, taking emotions out of this and what would have been the socially decent and correct thing to do in this situation, based on the evidence that we have in the crazy mystery of the city bike, she did not steal the bike. It was docked. It was available in the system. She was able...
No. Just because it was docked, it's still in his... and it's on his account. She started this whole ordeal thing. No one didn't tell her to go up to these guys and start an argument. She had all those bikes in front of her that were not being used. Notice how she's taking, and Black conservative is taking Sarah's side. Here's the problem. When you ever bring somebody into court and you're going to testify, these two dumb idiots who have no credibility whatsoever, if you're going to bring these two idiots, a Black conservative and this dumb bitch right here, your case is going to be like all over the road. They're not very helpful. They're not credible. Their story stinks. I've taken law. I went to law school, so I understand like laws and stuff, right? In my state. But outside of my state, every state is different with their laws. But in this type of situation, Sarah took the black teenager's cell phone. That's armed robbery right there. Let's get that let's bring that to the table. You took his phone out of his hand. That's robbery right there. That's strong arm robbery right there. She can be charged with strong arm robbery. I don't know how they work that in New York. But when you take something out of somebody's hand, that is considered theft, unauthorized taking, and armed robbery right there. Depending on what state you're in. Now let's bring up another thing. There was other bikes there. So you went to these teenagers. You walked by all these other bikes and you knew there are other bikes that were available. But why would you need to go to this type of bike? What's so interesting about the bike? Was the color? Was it the style? They're all from the same company. Any lawyer, any good lawyer would put her ass on the stand and questioning her. If she could do this type of behavior using her alligator tears, you can just imagine, like, the video already went viral at her job. She had her name tag in front and she hid it so she won't get in trouble. Yeah, here's another thing. Also, the company, the hospital that you work for has the name tag on your scrubs. So you're still in uniform. You're still representing your job. So when you're out in public and you're in your scrubs and you act a fool and someone posted the video and has you in scrubs and your name and where you work at, you don't think that's going to go on social media and you don't think your job's going to look at that? Your job's going to pull you aside and say, hey, just like with her, they're going to pull you aside and say, nah, we saw a viral video of what you had did in public. You're going to be underneath investigation. You can work today depending on the job. They'll put her on an investigation. Like, you could finish your rest of your whole day off, but until this whole video thing gets taken care of, then we'll see if you have a job. Until then, you're on investigation. Her job, let's just say that they have Asians, blacks, Africans, Spanish, Latin American, India, people from India, who knows what type of people that they hire at this hospital. And then they see this, are like, oh man, we have a multicultural people that work here from different parts of the globe. So
to rent
very
it.
careful.
He tried to take the back bike, and it was docked shortly after she checked it out. We see them push it back in. Somebody replied and summed up my feelings about it and said, this seems like a he said, she said. Eventually, I hope to hear what actually happened by an unbiased source. Oh well, I really don't care at this point because it's about a damn bike. New York PD was not called. Everybody went home. It was fine. But apparently we're still talking about it. Now, the last update, I promise we'll be finished soon, is that the boy has now given his side of the story as of this morning, like 5 minutes before I sat down to get hair and makeup done. This is on New York Post as well. Teen shares his version of events leading up to City Bike feud with New York City hospital worker Sarah Cumry. And he said that she came up to the bike dock where he and all of his friends were hanging out, and she was going to rent one of the bikes. The boy said, no, that's my bike. I'm going to rent it. And then Michael, who says that he was holding onto the bike's handlebars, claimed that he told her he was about to take the bike back out, and then Cumry asked if he could, quote, help a pregnant woman out. Michael said he again declined and told her that he rode the bike from the Bronx and needed it to get home. Again, why is she going after this one specific bike when there are other bikes available? And again, sir, why do you need this very specific bike to get home? I'm exhausted.
You know why he needed that bike? Because it's still in his name. The bike is in his name. It's on his account. You actually just helped solve their case. Now, like I said, it's people like her. Don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
And allegedly leaned over him and scanned the code with her phone, and his hand still on the handlebars. Michael said she then attempted to push her way onto the bike and remove it from the docking station, the teen alleged, to the outlet. So after that, Sarah got on a different bike, which was available because there were more bikes, and she rode home. Michael then...
You know how easy that would have? Instead of like waiting to a bunch of teenagers, black teenagers. Like I said, I don't give a fuck what color they are. White, black, Asian, Spanish, Latin America. She started this whole thing. As I said in my first video, things could have been different if she would have just went on to the other bikes. See, that's another key thing. She didn't win. No one won. It was just that she started it. She walked by a bunch of bikes. No one didn't win. It was her fault. She went on national television and going to be suing her and her lawyer. But when all these videos going to come out in court, and then all the jury's going to look at it, if they say that it's going to be an all-black juror, there's going to be one white juror on there. Who do you think they're most likely going to agree with? The black teenagers. They're not going to agree with her. It's going to come down to, it's not about a bike. It does, but it doesn't. It's about how and why she walked past all these bikes that were not being used. She has a lawyer. She's going to play her lawyer out, and the lawyer's going to look stupid. What the lawyer, well, not her lawyer. Let's say they get a lawyer, right? The black teenagers, they get a lawyer. They're going to ask her in court, put her on a witness stand. Like I said, you know, if I was their lawyer, I would have been like, so here's a video. I've seen the video so many different times, right? Why didn't you, there's other bikes. We got the footage from the hospital that you approached them, knowing that there's all these other bikes. Why didn't you go to these other bikes? Why would you go to these teenagers? What's so different between that bike? Like I said, was it the color or was it the style? You could have went to avoid all this whole mess. We wouldn't be talking about it. There wouldn't be no video. You could have just gone on your bike. You want to play war? You want to dance? Why don't you show social media that you are allegedly pregnant? Oh, I'm pregnant. Well, your allegedly pregnant ass should have got on one of those bikes and just rode home. Or take an Uber. You could have, or Lyft. You could take a Lyft, Uber, call somebody to give you a ride, family, friend, boyfriend, whatever you have, they're to come and get you. But here's another thing. Now let's backtrack. How did she get to work? That's another thing that you guys don't know. So you have to backtrack the whole thing. Like, you have to ask yourself, how did she get to work? Well, that's a question when the day comes. If they do decide to go to, if she does go to court, I hope that they do get a lawyer, and I hope that she doesn't get her job back.
Took the bike that was in the center of the scuffle, his old bike, but only had it out for 6 minutes and then returned it to that exact same docking station. So he didn't actually need it to go home right then. And then 30 minutes later, he rented.
All right.
It was a bit weird, and the boy.
I'm going to pause this for a second. So there you have it. Now, I might be making part 4. I'm going to make part 3. I'm going to read the article. So please leave a like and a comment and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get up to 200K. I know the more videos I post, I'm trying. It's just been so nice outside, and it's been very hot where I live. And please share your comments of what you think of this whole bike Karen, Sarah Comrie situation. And please subscribe to my channel. It's your boy Wolfgang 1305. I see you on the next so what I'm looking for. I'll see you on the next time. No, that doesn't make no sense. I see you on the DL.